Everybody understands food, which is why food is such an incredible platform for communicating and bringing people together.
In this series, we're going to meet incredible people who embody what I call both the spark and the grind. The inspiration of coming up with the idea and then the execution of following through and making that idea a reality. The two together are a guaranteed recipe for success. I'm Erik Wahl, and this is the spark and the grind.
Dr. Irwin is a creative scientist and food futurist. He's able to do incredible work in the food industry that unlocks our senses in ways we didn't even think were possible.
I'm Dr. Irwin, principal and founder of Future Food Studio based in Toronto, Canada. Future Food Studio is a food design technology studio where we work to reimagine the ways we interact, engage, and experiment with food. And we do everything from explore the things we eat, the tools we eat with, all the way up to the spaces where we eat food. We try to instigate or create moments that make people pause for a moment, and suddenly they start to think. And when you create these moments where people don't fully understand what's going on, so there's disorientation, you suddenly also level the playing field. And you make it so that people from very different backgrounds and very different perspectives can suddenly interact with each other at the same level and in the same space. And for that reason, we always look to create pieces, experiences, foods that create that moment of thought. One of our very first projects was a reimagination of beverage. And we took a very much engineer's approach to the problem. So myself, I have a PhD in biomedical engineering. My team is made up of chefs, chemists, designers, architects, all types of people who bring their own perspectives to the work we do. And so in reimagining beverage, we did the first step in the engineering process where we went and we broke everything down. So we looked at how can we break down the flavor profiles of a beverage, and then we went one step further and asked ourselves, how can we break down the phase of a beverage? And that's how we created the edible cloud. And this is a cloud that you can pour, you can drink, you can sip on, and it really became a great instigator for getting people to rethink a product that they're very familiar with. I started working in food when I was 15, and it was always something that existed in my life. You know, my family was very much centered around food. We all made food together. We all had dinner together every single day. And I started working in restaurants when I was a teenager just to make some cash and make things happen. And I found it was an incredible medium to work with because you quickly realize that everything you're creating is something that becomes part of somebody else. And so that was always a thematic that existed in the background of my education. So while I was studying engineering or doing my master's in chemical engineering, my PhD in biomedical engineering, that narrative of food continued. So I had a series of pop-up restaurants in Montreal, and then started doing more and more large-scale projects that all of a sudden made me realize, hey, I need some cash to do this stuff. And that really was the spark right there, where suddenly my background in technology started merging with my passion for food. And I realized there actually was an opportunity to take that to the next level, and was fortunate to find my first client that was a big beverage company that allowed me to explore that further. So the Museum of Ice Cream was a project that I was brought into with a couple of friends. So 4 of us came together and built out this Museum of Ice Cream. And specifically my role was to bring in kind of the more Willy Wonka aspects of things and look at how we can reimagine the things that we interact and eat with in the space. Ultimately, it was meant to be a place where people can find joy and happiness and be playful. And what was incredible was seeing how everybody from little kids to like fashion world people from New York would love every single part of it. So we went through everything from looking at the history of ice cream cones to looking at chocolate toppings to having this giant swimming pool filled with sprinkles, all the way up to this kind of taste experiment that we had around ice cream and reimagining what that means to have a flavor experience. Everybody understands food, which is why food is such an incredible platform for communicating and bringing people together. And that really is the spark for why we do the work that we do. We can take that inherent knowledge and intuition people have around food, but we can explore how to push the boundaries of it and reimagine the future of it by bringing in design and technology.